My name is Proscovia Ayo. I'm a woman living with HIV.
Once a headmistress, HIV made her lose her job. Tearful Ayo narrates how she was kicked out of office by students.
I tested HIV positive in 1998, and I lost my husband to AIDS in 1999. I'm a teacher by profession, and I became a member of International Community of Women Living with HIV Eastern Africa in the year 2003. And that was the very year when I started taking ARVs, and to date, I am on ARVs. As a teacher living with HIV and a woman as such, I was discriminated against so much, such that when I declared my HIV status, I was thrown out of school. I was a headmistress of several primary schools in Tororo district. But in 2003, in August 2003, the members of the community where I was teaching in one of the schools threw me out. They locked up the office, and I stayed at home from 2003 up to 2010, when I was not put back to teach, but I kept on getting my salary. I faced a lot of stigma and discrimination. The district education officer then, called Doya, who was now retired, could not allow me to teach. He refused to deploy me for the reason that I opened up and declared my HIV status to many people by myself. So he could not find a school where he could post me, because I had mentioned myself that I was HIV positive. So I sat at home, and through the Tororo District Council sitting, I was put back to deployment in November 2011. But in that school, I was taken to a very far away school from my home, and I kept on commuting. Of course, as a widow with children, I have to look after in the home. And those years when our ARVs were being kept in fridges for some of us who were in second line drugs. So I faced a lot of stigma. When I was taken to another school in another region of the district, some media personnel put me on radio. They asked members of community to gather together, and they abused me for 1 full hour. It was a radio talk show as I listened from my home. They rejected me. The school community members put placards all over, from the school gate to the signpost, to the walls, up to the doors of the school, the whole compound. Ayo Proscovia, we don't want you here. You're HIV positive, we don't want you here. Another school that I went to, they drummed for me. Members of the community gathering together again to beat a drum, to sound a drum like I'm a ghost, some kind of ghost. So I went through a lot of stigma and discrimination. While far back in 1999, when my husband died, of course there was still inheritance. I did not allow that to happen. I did not allow to be inherited. So I was thrown out of my home, and I left the home without even a cap. I started from zero. I started from grassroots with 3 children by then. And I took them through struggle to school. After some time, I bought a piece of land where I am now, up to now. We've never been able to go back to the original home where my husband was buried. So stigma and discrimination has played a big role in my life. I have always tried to stand firm, no matter what kind of discrimination thrown on my back or in my face, because the International Community of Women Living with HIV taught me some skills. They counseled me, they showed me positive living, and they told me there's life ahead. The same to the National Forum for People Living with HIV networks in Uganda, of which I am the district coordinator for Tororo People Living with HIV networks. So I've learned ways of how to fight stigma and discrimination in my own way. until finally in 2015, I was posted to another school that I call now Final, when there's teachers in that school as well. That is Tororo Prison Primary School, mobilized children and mobilized themselves. They wrote letters to the district rejecting me before even I could, settle in the school. So as weeks went by, I could not be allowed to sit in the office. One evening when I was supposed to give children, the teachers hid away with the report cards and refused that I should not sign. So later on, when I was going home around 4 o'clock,